Well, good morning. Happy spring. I'm leaving the cave right now. If I could see behind the snowbank. It's like 45 degrees out. I'm gonna go home and open the windows. Yesterday we were having an ice storm and we're predicted to have 8 inches of snow tonight. So welcome to February. A friend of mine said they saw some robins yesterday, which is unheard of this early, but who knows? That's what this end of the winter, early spring weather is like, right? Take advantage of the nice days and get all cozy when you can't go outside. So I have not been home to the nest in a day or two. So let's go see what's happening over there. I was a busy bee this week. For those of you who follow me on Facebook saw that I finished the chair and then I got really crazy with my fabric stash. I had talked about the fact that I wanted to make some gypsy curtains, and so I decided to pull out all of my fabric. And last year when I did the KonMari purge of the whole house, I had addressed all my sewing stuff and my fabric, but this time I actually pulled out each and every piece, shook it out, woke it up, and ironed everything. And now I left it all out so I could show you guys. I was so proud of it. You know, it took me 3 days. And once I got started and into it, I didn't want to stop. I knew it would be worthwhile in the end. And this way I could see at a glance all the fabric I have. So I'm happy about it. And it was very meditative. And for some reason I was thinking of my mom a lot. She used to iron all the time. Maybe that's why, but yeah, it was very cool. And I've had a couple people ask me if I'm going to do a video on how I'm going to make these curtains. And, you know, anything can change, obviously, but I don't think so at this point because it's going to be such an intuitive thing. I mean, basically, I'm saying this now, I'll probably wind up making a video, but basically I'm just going to cut out different size squares of fabric, all different kinds, like patchwork, and, you know, 8x8, 4x4, whatever, squares and rectangles, and then I'm just going to sew big panels, and at the top of them maybe I'll do some tabs to hang them. I mean, it's going to be fairly simple, and because I am going to be doing, you know, it intuitively, I don't know if that'll make for a good video or not, but we shall see. And I'll show you. And I'll show you the chair too, which I changed up a little bit thanks to one of you guys, Donna G. Shout out to Donna. Gave me an idea to change the seat. Ooh, it looks like I'll be able to get up. Okay, there was one scary spot in my driveway, and Tom poured some of the snow melt stuff on it yesterday. We stopped by to get the mail and everything, so it looks like I'll be able to get up. So I'll show you everything when we get inside. Okay guys, I made it in safe and sound, just fed the birdies, got the coffee going, and I'll show you the chairs. And I want to apologize, it wasn't Donna G, it was Deb G who gave me the idea. The original first chair that I did is this one here on the right, and I did that last year, and that's the fabric that I used for the seat. And then Deb had said, why don't you do a different fabric for the seat instead of the same? So I took her advice, and I actually got this star fabric from my friend Ellen. So shout out to Ellen. And yeah, there they are. I hope you could see them okay. You know how it feels when you finally get a project finished? So happy to have that done. So that was that, and then, dun dun dun, I hope the lighting's okay. Here is the fabric. You guys, I'm so excited that this is all done. Let me try to get out of the way of the light here. These are all velvets. A lot of this stuff was clothing throughout the years, and that's another thing that I did. If it was, like this was a skirt, you know, I took out waistbands and zippers and buttons. Everything is, you know, I left this out so I could show you, but old tapestries. Any Deadhead fans? I know I got some. Lots of silks and tie-dyes. just, you know, for those of you who love fabric, you know how much I enjoy doing this. There's a bunch of denim, a lot of batiks, pile of quilt batting in the back there, some flannels, all different sari material, lots of silks, and just, you know, and each piece has memories, right? Whether it was clothing or fabric that, you know, I've just collected throughout the years. It seemed like every piece had a story attached to it. So it was very cleansing for me and very cathartic in a lot of ways. So I could put this away now. In a perfect world, when I have my art studio, I'll have special section just for my sewing. But for now, I'm going to rebag this up by color. And I have a bin in the closet that I'm going to put it in. And I'll show you all my closets and everything when I do the cottage tour in April. So that felt really good, but I'm ready to walk away from fabric for a while. I'm not going to start on the curtains till probably next week because I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do for the Gypsy and Witch project. So yeah, let me continue on with the morning. I think for lunch today or dinner, I don't have things for lasagna yet, but I may do like a baked rigatoni or something. So I'm going to get some coffee and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, I'm almost finished talking about fabric. One other thing that I did was for my pantry, I have down here, see that curtain I made? This right here? Because underneath, I keep my, let's see how I can show you this. Some of my craft supplies, that's all my beading, my tripods under there, things like that. So that was always in the bottom of my pantry. So now I made a curtain out of an old skirt, can you tell? And there. So I was pretty pleased with that too. There you have it. Now I'm done with fabric for this week.
He was standing on the side of the road, rain falling on his shoes. Heading out for the East Coast, Lord knows he paid some dues. Getting through, tangled up in blue.
Okay guys, today's card is the Lovers, and I laughed out loud when I drew it because I drew this yesterday at the cave. So definitely in the air. It obviously represents love and union. It can also represent choices. I'm going to, as usual, reference my handy-dandy book. Let's see. Love, choices, decisions, inspiration, hunches, second sight, abstract thought, true partnerships, growth, internal harmony, attraction, romance, learning the ways of the heart, the desire for cooperation, communication, a strong love relationship with good communication and positive growth for both partners, peace, sexuality, a renewed awareness of the nature of passionate love and what is needed to encourage it, artistic creativity, integration of the masculine and feminine, beauty, union, bliss, passion, take ownership and responsibility for choices made, celebrate love in all of its forms, friendship, passion, spirituality, self-love. A great card, and I just smiled and laughed. Very much in love and perfect for this time of the year. So sending you guys a lot of love. See you in a minute. I knew I had something I wanted to show you guys. Tom got a bunch of these super cool LED mushroom night lights, and they're color changing, and they're like posable. You can bend them and everything. They're really cool. So let me plug one in. I'll do it in the bathroom where it's dark, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, this is what they look like out of the packaging. And I'll show you plugged in. And here they are plugged in. They're magical, and they put out a lot of light. Really, really happy with them. They're so much fun. Don't you think they're cool? Love them. Okay, guys, it's starting to get a little overcast out. Still really warm, though. So look at the world through kaleidoscope eyes. And look at our celery. We'll be ready to harvest any day now. Okay, I'm going to pull out things to make like a baked rigatoni. Again, I apologize. It's not lasagna. I have not forgotten. Honestly, I haven't been grocery shopping. I haven't had a need to other than that. So I will make that. But for today, I have some stuff and I'm going to make some dinner. And I don't know if I'm going to eat it on camera. Tom and I are going to have dinner together. But I will show you how I'm going to make it. Okay, so let me pull everything out. And I'll see you in just a minute. I want to show you what I've been drinking lately. I've mentioned these before. This is the LaCroix Lemon Lime Seltzer Water. I first got turned on to these from High Carb Hannah and Derek. And they're amazing. And I told you I used to be a soda addict. So these have an amazing taste. They're all natural. And highly recommend them. Okay guys, I'll show you what we're working with here. I'm just going to throw together a super simple sauce. So I'm going to saute some garlic. I have a yellow onion. I'm going to use 2 cans of this crushed tomatoes with basil. Doesn't matter, it's just what I have on hand. I have a little bit of tomato paste that I'll put in. I'm going to use some fennel. Some crushed red pepper. I am almost out of basil. This was last summer's basil. Some oregano. My grandson labeled for me. These are my absolute all-time favorite Gardein classic meatless meatballs. Better than Grandma used to make. 100% vegan, 100% wonderful. Highly recommend these whether you're vegan or not. These are amazing. So I'm going to bake these, and then when they're done baking, I'm going to crumble them up and throw them in our sauce. And then I'm going to partially cook some of this rigatoni, and then I'm going to mix it in with the sauce, and then add... I have this Go Veggie Lacto and Cheesy Bliss mozzarella style shreds. This stuff is amazing. It melts like mozzarella cheese. It tastes like mozzarella cheese. It's really, really good. And I'm also going to use by the same brand, and I just get this at ShopRite. It's wonderful. It's near the produce section. This Go Veggie Cheesy Bliss grated Parmesan style cheese alternative, and use some of that too, and then we'll bake it and it'll be delicious. And Tom actually just called and he's going to bring a loaf of Italian bread over, so we are going to eat together about 5 o'clock. So let me chop up the onion and the garlic and we'll get the sauce going and get this going. Okay, I told you I'm going to bake these. I've preheated the oven to 450, and I just have a baking sheet on a cookie sheet. So I'll just pour these on. You don't have to do this. You can put these directly in sauce and cook them with your sauce, but baking them gives them a little extra crunch on the outside, and they're tasty. So you can see they look just like regular meatballs. I could eat this whole package easily. They're that delicious. So I'm going to cook these for like 20 minutes. And in the meantime, I'll get to chop in the onions and the garlic. Okay, I've just pulled these out of the oven. I'm going to set them aside, let them cool down a little bit, and heat up a frying pan so we can saute our onions and garlic. These smell amazing. Hungry. Okay, let's get sauteing. This is heating up. It's just a pretty deep saucepan. A couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And, you know, I've done any number of variations of this sauce. This is just that one onion. And I have about 6 cloves of garlic. But, you know, you could do green pepper, celery, carrot, mushrooms, you know, whatever you have on hand. But always, always have onion and garlic. I do. And I'm just going to let this saute. I'm actually going to turn the heat down a little bit. I'm going to let the onions caramelize a little bit. So maybe I'm going to add just a pinch of salt and some ground pepper. If you don't want to, don't. I like to season as I go along. Trying to phase out sugar and salt in my diet, but a little in moderation in everything, I think. Okay, so I'm going to let this go, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe longer. Open up the cans of tomatoes, and we'll add those in, and I'm going to get a pot of water going for our pasta. All right, see you back here in a minute. Okay, this is coming along really nicely, so let's add our tomato sauce, tomato paste, and spices right now. Again, it's different every time, but it always tastes good. You can't go wrong. Fresh ingredients. Yum. Whatever sauce is left over, obviously keeps well. Throw it in the freezer. I use it for chilies, more sauce. Can never have enough. And let's add some tomato paste. You guys should know by now, I never really measure, but I do have a tablespoon here. So I love this stuff. It's so handy. So let's do 2 tablespoons-ish. And then I'm going to add some fennel seed. I don't know how much. How about that much? And you could crush that if you want beforehand, or even do a light roast, but I don't. I have some dried red pepper flakes here. I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to use all that, but I'm just kind of put some in. I need to grind those up. And then, I told you I have the remaining basil. I just got seed catalogs in the mail. Again, I can't wait. I'm going to do a lot of herbs this year. And I like lots of oregano. It smells so good. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. Just because I like it. Do it how you like it. Okay, so we're going to saute this, and I'm going to chop up those meatballs, just a rough chop, and then add them in here. And we'll let this simmer. I mean, you could let this go all day, but I'll probably let it simmer for at least an hour, and then we'll get our pasta cooking, and I'll see you back here when we're ready to do that. I'm going to go chop up some meatballs. Okay, so let's just add all this right in. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on this and we'll let it simmer down now for about an hour. And like most sauces or gravies, they're always better the next day or two, but it's going to be just fine. So put a lid on it, get our water ready for our pasta. Okay guys, we'll bring this to a boil. I'll add a little bit of salt and the pasta, and we're only going to cook it about 5 minutes or so, and then it'll finish cooking in the oven. See you back here when this is boiling. Okay, obviously we got a nice boil going. I'm just going to add a pinch of some sea salt. Okay, and then our pasta. And this is what I'm using today. It's just made out of durum wheat. You can use whatever you want, obviously. And like I said, I'm going to cook this for I'm going to do the whole box, because I have to cook for an army. We're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. Okay? And then we're going to drain it, add it to our sauce, and then it'll be ready to go in the oven with some cheese on it. Okay, let's see. Our sauce is doing great here. I've preheated the oven to 350, and I took out an even bigger pot because I want to be able to mix the sauce and the pasta together. I didn't have a big enough bowl. So that's what we're going to do next, and I'm going to pull out a baking dish. I have a glass Pyrex pan. That's what we're going to bake it in. So, see you in a minute. Okay, let's mix this up. I'm also going to add some of the Parmesan cheese in before we put it in the baking dish, and then I will top it with the mozzarella cheese. And obviously, these are all vegan cheeses I'm talking about. Not to sound like a broken record, but in case you forgot. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe one more scoop. And like I said, I'm just going to add in our Go Veggie here. I'll be pretty liberal with it. Oh my God, this smells amazing. Could eat it just like this, you guys. All right, I'm going to do like one more scoop of sauce, and then we'll pour it in our pan. Oh yeah. You know I had to try it. Put the rest of that in there, and we'll put our cheese on top. Yummy. Okay, that's perfect. Made the perfect amount. And I'm going to basically use, not even basically, I'm going to use this whole package. And we're just going to pour it right on top. And actually, believe it or not, I'm going to add a little more of the Parmesan. You could use nutritional yeast if you want. And then we're just going to go on here. Oh yeah. Okay guys, that's going to go in the oven for half an hour and I'll see you when it's done. Okay guys, I just put that in the oven. I'm just kind of chilling right now, looking out the window, brewing a fresh pot of coffee, listening to some Floyd on Pandora, and checking out my new seed catalog. I'm salivating. So, yeah, in about a half an hour, I'll pull that out of the oven, and I want to let it sit for like 10 minutes or so. And by that time, Tom should be here, and it'll be time to eat. Hope you guys are having a great day. I love you.
Is there anybody out there?
Out of the oven, and we'll let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. Looks great. And there you have it. I'll show you when we're ready to eat it. Okay guys, Tom just got here and we're going to eat. He brought some more LaCroix, which is great, and the big fat loaf of bread. And look at this. Hello. Didn't even know this was coming, you guys. Now there's a big fat one. So let me go plug that in and show you guys, and then I'm going to say goodbye and we're going to eat, okay? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. Hello. Wow. What a magical mushroom kind of a day. I hope you're having one too. These are great. Thanks, Tom. Love you guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.